Hi, this is Dr. Frank Layman. I'd like to thank you and I'd like to welcome you. Today I want to talk about resilience. Resilience is a quality worthy of training. Resilience can make the difference to being successful or not. A strong mindset with a sense of self-confidence and self-efficacy, along with patience and resilience, can see us past our present hardships to the light of a new tomorrow. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. It's essentially toughness. It's the ability to spring back into shape following a hardship, a disappointment, a frustration. Resilience is an inner strength, a tenacity that allows someone to bounce back from a failure, disappointment, frustration, to be successful at a higher level over the long run. For anyone to tap into this attribute, it's just like training anything else. If you want to train to gain something, to possess something, you have to know how. We have to know we want to possess this trait or this quality. We have to make it a goal. And we need to seek out an approach that's effective in achieving or enhancing what we already have. I've laid out a few points that might be helpful in training for this quality. Number one, DSD, daily self-development. You've heard my other podcasts. You know that I'm a big advocate of training yourself daily. Daily self-development helps us to train for improvement in ourselves while helping us to cope. It fortifies us from the daily strikes we go through, and it builds us to a better future version of ourselves. It is a way of training yourself to grow and develop every day in more of a mindset, not a forced, not a compulsive, restrictive way, but in a very natural way. I would highly recommend some of my other podcasts where I speak directly to how to do daily self-development in a very effective way that enhances your well-being and your happiness. Number two, self-efficacy. One sense of self-efficacy can play a major role in how one approaches goals, tasks, and challenges. We build on our self-efficacy by taking on challenges and tasks and refining our approach and strategies to be better at accomplishing them. Anyone who is skilled at something knows they have to challenge themselves. Sometimes it is self-driven. Sometimes it is finding a coach or mentor, or maybe just being in the presence of an expert. Confidence in self comes from respect that we have of ourselves, and in our inner dialogue that becomes immensely influential. So positive talk, positive self-talk, preparation, and a sound approach go a long way in the development of your self-efficacy. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to strive to challenge yourself. And when you accomplish things, you want to recognize yourself in a positive way. And when you don't accomplish them, you want to recognize yourself for the attempt, because there's courage in just trying. Number three, discernment. A good judgment, a wisdom to compare, to contrast, and select that which is of optimum good for us and our future state. Resilience is tied with our mental and physical state of well-being. Those are made of conscious and deliberate choices. There is also the discernment to engage and when not to, and when to break away in an engagement. Not because the challenge is too hard, but because it's not worthy of the effort, time, or resources. Working on wisdom is a very challenging undertaking. It is a matter of gaining an experience while being mindful. You're objectively watching and being mindful, taking self-inventory of attributes, results of success and failure, and why we had good performances versus bad performances, and being able to be objective in understanding what lent to either of those, and then being able to make adjustments for the future to enhance our capabilities, our performance, our outcomes, or our success. 4, wellness. Your state of health and wellness and how much you invest in keeping it optimized is an important part of resilience. Let's look at how prisoners are broken down. They're sleep deprived, they're given poor nutrition, little to no exercise, little to no positive social connectedness, little to no positive stimulation. Use what I call the Frank rule of 180. If that's how we break down someone, how do we build them up? Well, let's take all of those and see what their counter is. We want to get plenty of sleep and healthy sleep. We want good to great nutrition. We want to exercise regularly. We want to have positive social connectedness, and we want positive stimulation. Prioritize these things, and it will build your resilience. Just as limiting yourself to those good things will break down your resilience. 5, caring. Caring is sincere love of having a positive impact on others, which influences a passion. Having a deep, sincere concern for others and how things will work out for them. Having a mission, something we work for that is bigger than ourselves, that contributes to others, fosters us. It helps us to give more, to endure more. Caring can allow us to see our mission through because selflessness has far more satisfaction and purpose than selfishness. 6, toughness is innate in all of us. Being too comfortable for too long can diminish it in us. Toughness is emotional stability, especially in facing disappointment. It's a positive perspective even when facing hard times. It's a strength under stress. It's the ability to perform as good, if not better, when the stakes are higher. Having a deep, sincere concern for others and how things will work out for them. Having a mission, something we work for that is bigger than ourselves, that contributes to others, fosters us. It helps us to give more, to endure more. Caring can allow us to see our mission through because selflessness has far more satisfaction and purpose than selfishness. 6, toughness is innate in all of us. Being too comfortable for too long can diminish it in us. Toughness is emotional stability, especially in facing disappointment. It's a positive perspective even when facing hard times. It's a strength under stress. It's the ability to perform as good, if not better, when the stakes are higher. It's a willingness of preparedness for a challenge or a future challenge that we don't even see yet. It's a right positive attitude toward setbacks. It's grit. How gritty are you? Well, why don't you take the test? There's what's called a grit scale developed by Angela Duckworth. And she takes a number of statements and it helps determine what your grittiness is. For me, I attribute my grittiness to my childhood and the environment I grew up in. With having very little resources, you become very innovative, you become very resilient, and you become very gritty. Also, absolutely attributed to my military training and the years I have spent and still am involved in the military. Not only do they teach great leadership skills, but we teach too enduring, being resilient, being gritty. Number 7, endurance. When we are tired, we are vulnerable. Lack of endurance will make us vulnerable, like it will make an athlete or an athletic team easier to beat in the latter half of a game. Build your endurance with training. And as you will find, your mental and physical mindset endure longer, which leads to resiliency. And that leads to a better probable outcome. Staying in the game longer, staying in the fight longer with the same energy, that could see you past a very strong barrier. 8, cognitive maturity. The development of our critical thinking and our emotional IQ are profound in the impact that they have in our resilience. Gaining alliance by being in tune with others and socially able gives us opportunities to not only support others, but to be supported. Being more logical than emotional can set us to think through a barrier rather than to concede to it. Overcome barriers by searching for the barrier's weakness and your strengths. And most of our strengths truly are within us. And cognitive maturity is one of those areas. Take self-inventory, be mindful, learn from your experiences. Number 9, dedication. The quality of being committed to a task or a purpose. Dedication is the conscious decision. It is tied to our belief that we are doing as well as we can be doing. We're giving our all. You will also see greater dedication in those that have a mission or purpose. Knowing that, take your time and create a mission for yourself. Mine is to help those who want to make a positive change. And it drives me in those days that even I struggle with trying to do more, be more, grow or develop, and question my own resilience. That purpose sends me forward. If you have a why, you can endure anyhow. You got to find your why. Hope, belief, and motivation. Hope is not a standalone strategy, but the opposite of hope is hopelessness. And with hopelessness comes despair. Have you ever attempted to achieve a goal in a state of despair? No, because these are incongruent and don't work together. So we have to sustain belief, a spirit within us that feeds off of the optimism we create, and sustain hope, which all compels us to act. They are motivating, and we have to be motivated. We have to self-motivate. We have to seek other avenues to sustain our motivation. We have to sustain our hope, belief, and motivation, doing what it takes to stay positive during especially difficult times, but even in good times. Motivation isn't a time ill spent. It is an investment that can fuel the arrival. At least it can ward off exhaustion. Stay in the race until you cross the finish line. Fight until the end of every round. 11, achievement. Value achievements. They don't define us, but value them. If we have a belief in ourselves, we won't falter in the face of disappointment. Having a sense of self-confidence is needed, not to be shattered in the event of failure or miss or a frustration. That said, a drive to achieve goes a long way to fuel our long journey to accomplishment, and it can make us a little bit grittier. These are conscious choices, but we work on them every day. 12 is peace. We can motivate ourselves by fear to the immediate of completing a task, but long term, I advocate seek peace. I can be at peace, yet at a high tempo. We often associate anxiety, fear, and anger as states that allow us to be more motivated or more driven, but those have a negative physiological impact and are difficult to sustain without long-term harm. So seek peace to drive high tempo thinking and behavior with thoughtful action and with a great mission and in a healthy state, both physical and mental. 13, focus. Not taking your eyes off the target, no matter the distress we're under, no matter how long it takes to get there. Many have unrealistic expectations for success and don't exhaust in getting to where they want to be, but are frustrated just because of too high an expectation and too short an understanding of how long it really does take to achieve some of our goals. 14, love. If you have a why, you can endure anyhow. Friedrich Nietzsche. Love is the most powerful reason we all have. It far exceeds any negative emotion in its power to sustain us. Love is relentless. It can add to or be our resilience. Work on your resilience by working on these areas, and you will see it is reinforced along with many other positive attributes that can help you stay in the fight longer. It is not only the one who holds the advantage, is more prepared, or is more skilled. Sometimes it is the one who can endure to the end, who will succeed over all others. That's one of my quotes, and I put it in there for my own life experience, and I hope it's a blessing and a help to you at times. Put all these attributes together with resilience, and you have a force to be reckoned with. You will be the force to be reckoned with. Mental toughness, resilience, mission can allow us to stay in the game longer, and that improves our probability for accomplishing our goal. Set your goal, stay focused, be hungry, work diligently with a good strategy and mindset. Be discerning and watch for opportunities to leverage your newfound resilience to success. Thank you. I'd like to leave you with a few quotes. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because the goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one which we intend to win. And the others too. That's John F. Kennedy. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. That's a Roman gladiator. Thank you, and until next time, I hope your path moves in the direction you seek, and that someday our paths converge. Remember, take courage, encourage yourself and others to never cease in the trying. Thank you.